right, Shalom. I want to start off, as always, by giving all praises and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Racha Kodash, double honors unto the apostles, the elders, and the bishops of Great Millstone. I want to send much love unto the brothers out there doing this work in truth and sincerity, and also want to send peace and blessings unto the believers of the hopeful elect. And in this lesson, I wanted to do an open forum to the Spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai. And I wanted to just key in on this Fed Now thing that is getting ready to launch here in the month of July. And Fed Now is it's pretty much like an intro to this CBDC, okay? It's not the CBDC, but it's like an intro or a stepping stone to that, okay? And as I read you this information and I show you these videos, you're going to see that, okay? But this is Esau's plan, all right? He's plotting, he's planning, he's setting the stage to ultimately get this MOTB put into everybody, as it says in prophecy, okay? And the way that he's going to do this thing, people, for the most part, won't be able to catch on what he's doing, man. Now, some people will, okay? Those, so-called truthers, people like Glenn Beck and them and all that, but they don't understand prophecy overall, okay? Those of us who have this understanding, we see exactly where it is going, and we're preparing our minds for this thing, man. And so without further ado, I'll get into this first article I have here. As you can see, the title of this article reads, JP Morgan Chase and 40 other U.S. banks conducting Fed Now trial runs ahead of the instant payment service launch. So JP Morgan Chase, all right, which is a big bank here in America, but you got 40 other banks conducting this Fed Now trial run. Eventually, all of these banks are going to do it, okay? As the scriptures say, he calls it all. Everybody going to have to get down with this new payment system, okay? And as I said, Fed Now is just a stepping stone to the overall thing, man, all right? So get into the article here. It says, banking giant JP Morgan Chase and 40 other U.S. banks are testing the Federal Reserve's new instant payment infrastructure called Fed Now. According to a new Federal Reserve press release, 41 banks and 15 service providers are wrapping up Fed Now test trials ahead of an official launch of the service, which is scheduled for late July. So they've already been testing this thing out, man, okay? And when they launch it, you better believe they're going to be ready. Now, granted, they can add some things to it, but for the most part, what they introduce to the people, man, is pretty much what they've been, testing on, okay? This devil, man, he moving, okay? And these banks, they're following the suit. It says Ken Montgomery, first vice president of the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston and Fed Now program executive, it says, we are on track for the Fed Now service launch, right? He said, we're on track, right? Not might be on track. They're on track, man. Their plans are working. They're moving, okay? It says, with a strong cohort of financial institutions, right, and service providers of all sizes in the process of completing the final round of readiness testing. So they're completing the final rounds right now, okay? So when that official launch comes in late July, they can be ready. Okay. It says, with go live nearing, financial institutions and their industry partners should be confident in moving forward with plans to join the network of organizations participating in the FedNow service. It says, according to the Federal Reserve, the FedNow service aims to enable businesses and individuals to send and receive instant payments anytime. Now, this is going to seem, cool to people, all right? Because as of right now, dealing with these banks, man, in certain times that you can't send money. Got to wait 2 and 3 business days and all that crap. With FedNow, you don't have to wait for nothing. Instant payments 24/7. 7 days a week, man. All year round, you'll be able to send money and receive money, man. But also with this FedNow app, if you do your research, you can pay your bills and do other things with it, man. It all go through that app. Okay. It says the Federal Reserve says it plans to increase the number of banks using FedNow this year and in years to come until all 10,000 have adopted the technology. You see that? They want every bank here in America to adopt that technology, and they will adopt it, man. There's no getting around this thing, man. Esau is going to make sure that you are in this system, okay? So that he can carry you on over to the next, and then the next until the MOTB come. But this is a stepping stone, all right, until all 10,000 of these banks have adopted that technology. It's on and popping, man. It says other large banks testing the service to start using it in July include Bank of New York, Mellon, U.S. Bancorp, and Wells Fargo. The U.S. Department of the Treasury is also intending to use the service. It says the service providers running final tests include Juniper Payments, Jack Henry, and Open Payment Network. So all these banks are piloting these things, man, and the stage has already been set. Okay, when this FedNow thing launches in late July, that's it. Okay, it's not going to go away. It's going to be here, man, because it's a stepping stone, all right, to the CBDC, which will lead to the MOTB. But all these banks, man, hey, they're ready. Okay, Esau, he's setting the trap, man. This is real quick, Psalm chapter 140. All right, I love reading this chapter here, man. In NLT, it says, "O Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, keep me out of the hands of the wicked, protect me from those who are violent, for they are plotting against me." And indeed, Esau is plotting against the whole world, man. And most people don't even understand it, all right? But he's plotting. It says, the proud have set a trap to catch me. They have stretched out a net. They have placed traps all along the way. And this is what Esau been doing since he's been in power, man. He's been setting traps, doing things here and there up until this point, man. These elites are hell-bent on getting this NWO firmly set in the earth, all right? We see the agenda being pushed. There's no doubt about it. The agenda is being pushed, man. And with this money, all right, they're going to really, really turn up soon, man. He's setting a trap, but this FedNow thing finna lead you down the road to that MOTB, okay? Next thing here, I want to play this video that was put up by Coin Bureau here on YouTube. And he gives a quick, backdrop on the FedNow thing, in which Esau been working on this thing since what I think it's like 2013, all right, 10 years ago. So this ain't nothing new, man. Okay, Fed now is not nothing new. These devils been working, man. Just like with the MOTB, they've been working on that thing. Ben had the technology, okay, but it's certain things, that saying they had in place that they wanted to do, but now they are revealing it. All right, but I'll let them explain this thing here, man. I want to skip through the video because I have another video also prepared. So here we go.
Its impending launch has been met with no shortage of concerns given its similarities to central bank digital currencies. What's more concerning, however, is that most people don't seem to understand what FedNow is or how it works. This has resulted in genuine misinformation that has been used to discredit those who oppose it. That's why today I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about FedNow, using information exclusively from the horse's mouth. As you'll soon see, the widespread concerns and opposition are justified. The history of FedNow begins in September 2013, when the Fed put out a public consultation paper asking financial institutions in the United States to give their input on how the payment system in the country should be improved. This public consultation resulted in the creation of the so-called Faster Payments Task Force in May 2015. In July 2017, the task force published its final report, which recommended that the Fed create a fast payment system. Go figure. If you watched our video about the future financial system that central banks want to see, you'll know that fast payment systems are analogous to central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. This is primarily because both payment systems are programmable, meaning that transactions can be controlled by a central authority.
Right. And that's what Esau wants. He wants that control, man. He wants to be able to dictate what you can buy and what you can sell, just as it states in biblical prophecy, man. That is exactly what the Apostle John saw. Esau not messing around, man. He wants this control, bro. And he's going to do anything in his power to make it happen. And he's working right now, man. All right.
Now, in August 2019, the Fed finally announced its plans to create a fast payment system, which is, of course, called FedNow. The timing of this announcement is significant for many reasons, mainly because Facebook announced its digital currency project Libra in June 2019. Note that Libra finally died, largely unmourned, in early 2022. Another thing that happened in June 2019 was a partnership between the World Economic Forum, or WEF, and the UN to meet the Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, in every country by 2030.
Right. And those 17 sustainable goals is something that brothers and sisters can look up on the UN website. Okay. It is something that I personally has brought up on the Thursday Lives, but also in some of my personal lessons, man. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch the Thursday Lives. Those 17 development goals that they have. And guess what? The MOTB is in that. They want all countries to implement that, man. And guess what? Babylon will do it. It's something they got that's called Our Common Agenda, okay? In which President Joe Biden will be meeting with the UN to pretty much sign off on this stuff, man. So these things are about to be implemented here in Babylon the Great and around the world, okay? That's something that stems from the World Economic Forum, man. They want this control, right?
For context, many of the dystopian things being pushed around the world have their roots in the SDGs, including CBDCs. 10 days after FedNow was announced, BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, also published a report that effectively predicted how central banks and governments would respond to the pandemic. For context, BlackRock has a close relationship with the Fed. More about that report in the description. Coincidences aside, the Fed revealed the features of FedNow in August 2020. The video announcing FedNow's features can be found on the Federal Reserve Bank Services YouTube channel. It is the source for everything I just said, minus the WEF, UN, and BlackRock stuff. It's worth a watch if you have the time. Now, in the video, it's revealed that former Fed Governor Lael Brainard has been at the forefront of the Fed's efforts to develop new payment systems. For context, Lael became a Fed governor in June 2014. As such, there's a high chance she was a key player in the FedNow initiative from the beginning. Oddly enough, Lael resigned from the Fed in February this year to become the head of the United States Economic Council under President Joe Biden. It's not clear why Lael left the Fed. Her term as vice chair was only set to expire in 3 years' time. Some have speculated that it was somehow related to FedNow. In any case, what is clear is that the Boston branch of the Fed was tasked with creating FedNow. This was done under the supervision of Ken Montgomery, the first vice president of the Boston Fed. The other key players in FedNow's development can be seen here, but I should note that it was the work of a 100-person team. I should also note that the features of FedNow were developed with the help of major financial institutions in the US. These are referred to as the FedNow community, and it boasts over 1,600 members. The FedNow community will also decide which features FedNow supports in the future. Now, in August last year, the Fed confirmed that it would be launching FedNow in about the middle of this year. In March this year, the Fed announced it would be launching FedNow in July. The announcement was made just a couple of days after the banking crisis began. Another coincidence, I'm sure. Anyways, there are two things to keep in mind before we explain how FedNow works. The first is that the Fed had not set a launch date at the time of shooting, so it's possible that FedNow has launched by the time you see this video. Be sure to check this if you haven't already. The second thing to keep in mind is that FedNow will be rolled out in phases. What's coming in July is just phase 1. As a result, the information in my explanation may be incomplete or incorrect if you're watching at a much later date. Unfortunately, it's not known when the next phase will be released. I'll come back to what features the Fed and the FedNow community want to see in the future phases of FedNow later in the video.
Right. These are going to come in phases, man. Because he don't know how the people are going to react to this thing. So he's going to, do it little by little, okay? But the ultimate goal is for him to gain control, all right? Esau works like that, man. He want to see how people going to react to it, who going to be down with it, and so on and so forth, man. But we understand through the Spirit that it's going to lead to the MOTB, okay? So let me see here. Yeah, so that's all that I play here in this video. Brothers and sisters can go watch the rest of it on his own, because this, excuse me, yeah. This is a pretty, a decent video here to watch. Coin Bureau, subscribe. If not, a good channel, man. But I'm gonna move on here to this next video from Stansberry Research. All right, one of my favorite channels as well. As you can see, the title of this video is called "Forget CBDCs. Your privacy is already gone. U.S. headed for China-level surveillance." So I want to play this video here, man. I might let it play to, let me see. Yeah, so I'll let it play here to this third. Okay, it says it's a Fed now. Loss of privacy, and then Fed and CBDC. So, so I'll let it play onto that. All this some good information to come out in this video, man. But here we go here.
Big segue to talk FedNow. July's right around the corner. This will be the launch of the Fed's payment system. They've made it clear, we get it. It's not a central bank digital currency, but like I've been saying, it's definitely the plumbing system of one. So talk to us about FedNow is it something that you believe will completely revolutionize the payment system? I mean, what does it mean for players like Venmo and PayPal?
Well, I mean, firstly, as I understand it, it's only meant to be for the banks, between the Fed and the banks and interbank stuff. And, as Gensler, I almost felt like he was quoting me. And because I said on one of these shows months and months ago, the dollar is already a digital currency. Most dollars are digital. Most money is just, blips on a hard drive. Most of all our wealth these days is digital. So there's nothing new about digital monies. And government saying they're going to do a digital currency, they've already got one. And actually, Gensler said that. We've already got one. It's called the dollar. So the ability to create technology that makes the actual action of money more efficient and cheaper, obviously is something that's going to happen. And obviously it's going to go towards things like blockchain, because blockchain has a risk-free proven that it's really rather good. I mean, if you think about it, I'm a politician. I come to you, the Fed, and I go, right, invent digital money. We're your programmable digital money. I'm going to say back to you, what? Programmable, so if there's a bug, someone can steal all the money in our country. No. We're not messing with this. We're going to chop down billions of trees and make little slips of paper instead. And, that works. It's proven. It's tested. People still rob it. There's still security issues with it and all that, but that's a given thing. So going digital has to be really, really slow, has to be really, really controlled, has to not have the sort of problems you get with computer software. So it's only ever going to be a very slow process of doing modern digital money in an ever more efficient manner, because they can't afford to make a mistake. And you wouldn't want them to, would you? You wouldn't want the North Koreans to come in and empty your bank account because they've made some digital money mistake. Of
course. But talk to me about the issue of privacy surrounding central bank digital currencies. Is this not a concern to you? I know you say, well, the dollars are digital.
What is privacy? Was that old thing you used to have before you got Google?
Well, it's going to get worse, though, because you say the dollar's digital. We can make that argument, but
you don't have your telephone listening to you.
But you're not. Absolutely, we have Alexa listening to us. We all know that. But doesn't mean that we just have to accept that now we're going to have zero privacy because we already have so little of it?
Well, we probably have zero privacy already. I mean, it depends on how much of a zero you're talking about. I mean, maybe.
Yeah, bro. There's pretty much no more privacy these days. Okay. These phones, these computers, Alexa, whatever, man. All this shit is watching us, 24/7. You got an iPhone like so I have an iPhone. I use it, scan my face on it. Bro, ain't no privacy, bro. Everything that you research in Google, Esau, look, man, they're tracking it, bro. Okay. They know exactly what you're doing. I've seen, plenty of cases, where people have been caught simply from their cell phone usage, as in what they research and whatnot, Googling. Esau went back into the computer, pulled up everything, that the individual researched and got them. So there's no privacy anymore, man. Now, granted, people still use cash here and there, and you got under the table things going on. But for the most part, there's no more privacy, man. But here we go.
But cash is still freedom to people. Cash is still freedom. I could still pay with my money and no one knows what I'm buying.
Well, you can't in lots of places because they won't let you do it. I mean, in Monaco, for example, where I live, you can't spend more than $2,000 in cash, and you're not allowed to. So that's gone. That's gone.
So
it's bolted on that one.
So is the issue of privacy is not one for you here when we're talking central bank digital currencies?
It's not a thing anymore. It's like saying, how do you wish not to be over 20 anymore? It's gone. It's gone. There is no privacy anymore. If you think you've got privacy, you're mistaken. It's certainly not an improvement on privacy, but you're not going to be losing much. You're losing a tiny amount of what you've got left. You've hardly got any left.
what would be, are there solutions to be outside of the system? Are the only two solutions gold and crypto?
Well, I don't think you got any privacy.
There are no solutions outside of the system, man. Once Esau get this thing up and running, either you're gonna be down with this system, or you're gonna be down with your how by Shemel Rashad. You people think that you're gonna be using gold and crypto and still just living your life without Esau knowing what you're doing? Hell no. Esau might make that he might make it a crime for you to use cryptocurrency. Who knows, man? But we know prophecy states that you won't be able to buy and sell unless you have that mark. So cryptocurrency, and having gold is not going to save you, man, which is something that a lot of YouTubers are pushing. They're putting they're all into cryptocurrency like it's going to save them. It's not, bro. Esau going to put a stop to all that BS, okay? You will bend the knee to his system if you don't have the Lord, man. I'm sure she is. I'm sure he is. Because I'm sure both of them making good money, might live in good, good neighborhoods, big houses. Well, in order to keep that way of life and to live, the little fancy lifestyle that people like to live, you're going to have to bow down and take that MOTB. There's nowhere around it, man. Unless you have the Lord. All right, Yahweh Shemel Rashai.
See, with gold, you try buying gold and not be on a database that you bought it, unless you dig it up yourself. I mean, that's what people in crypto do. Is they take their crypto.
You can buy it and store it offshore, and it's not reported.
Well, I mean, there's lots of ways.
There's plenty of bullion dealers that do that.
There's lots of things that you can do that are very, very niche, that kind of skip around things, like crypto people that pay miners to mine new Bitcoin and pay them in old Bitcoin and stuff like that. But, try buying gold offshore. Try telling your bank that you want to send money to an offshore bank to buy you gold and see how fast they cut you off your bank account.
Right.
So it's all gone. It's all gone now. It's not all gone. I'm exaggerating, but it's mainly gone. I can't even draw up a will without filling out an AML and KYC document. A will. I'm not planning to run off with any money or launder any drugs. I'm just planning to die. And I still have to KYC and AML. I mean, it's that privacy thing, that all went away. If you talk about dog food on your telephone and you get dog food ads tomorrow, don't think it just stops at Google, do you?
I guess people are going to say, well, has Clem just become complacent and kind of given up here? That's what it seems like.
Realistic. It's realistic. That is the situation that people have, on the margins they have privacy. But, we are in this Orwellian 1984 world. And, you either shuffle on or you spend huge amounts of time trying to get around it. In China, if you don't have a smartphone, they come around your house because you must be a bad person because they can't listen to you. And it's only several steps away from where we'll be in a few years' time. And is anybody fighting it? No. Does anybody even say these people are listening to your telephones? Everybody knows now that it happens because they all see the ads in the subjects that they were talking about a few hours ago. So, that is the status right now. So to say with these central bank currencies, you're going to lose your privacy, well, you're going to lose a tiny amount of it because 90% of it is gone in the last 10, 15 years. And we had it, and now it's gone, right? There's cameras on every corner. You can't go out in places like Europe in a city and not be on a camera.
Right. And here in America, man, they're starting to install these cameras that's pretty much tracking everything that you do, man. Facial recognition, all that's being set up right now here in America, man. Okay? There's no getting around it, bro. You see how Mr. Klaus Schwab of the World Economic Forum praised China for how they run in their society. And China over there, they track everything that their, citizens do, man. That's coming to America, okay? Their infrastructure is being set up right now. You had old boy Dabu 7. He had a reported on it how they're setting up these street lights, with these blue lights to pretty much track you, man. So we're right at the doors, okay? We're right at the doors, okay, for Esau to put everything into place, man. Okay, I'm gonna play a little bit more of this video, and then I get into some precepts here.
So let me back it up. Let me back it up a second. Because, okay, back to Fed now, right? Okay, it's coming in July. We get it. It's a payment system. But at the same time, Powell has been very vocal saying that, well, he's kind of sent mixed messages, right? First, he was saying they have no interest in exploring a central bank digital currency, that it wouldn't be the Fed's place. Then they were saying that, they should be looking at it or examining it in the United States, but that if there were one, it's not something that would be regulated by an institution, but would be regulated by governments. So what do you think? Does the Fed want a central bank digital currency is the question. And what do you make of states like Florida who are looking to ban them?
Well, I mean, I think that if you can get a political process that gives individuals and keeps individuals' rights, that's very good. But the drive of the direction of travel is less and less and less of that financial privacy, and general privacy. And the real driver behind it is taxation, because governments are centralizing power and taking more and more power away from the individual and taking it to themselves. But for that, they need money. And for that money, they need to scalp you. And if you don't want to be scalped, then they need to make sure that you are. And so what you're seeing is not, all this KYC and AML was meant to stop drug dealers, right, and drug runners. There's more drugs today than there's ever been. And they don't say, oh, well, we'll scrap this KYC and AML because it doesn't work and it didn't do anything to solve the thing that we put it in for. No, because that wasn't what they put it in for. They did it to make sure that they could track the money because they want their cut. And the demand for taxation only ever goes up and only ever will go up and will continue to only ever go up. And the more it goes up, the need for taxation, the more they need to make sure that people are weaseling out of it. And so, that is the vicious cycle of this. And, it's pretty horrible, really.
Let's talk about the U.S. bond.
All right, man. So that's all I'm going to play here on that video. But yeah, man, it's July 1st, okay? These banks, as I read in the beginning, JP Morgan Chase and 40 other U.S. banks are conducting Fed now trial runs. Everything is in place, man. Fed not going to launch here in July. And don't be surprised, if your bank send you an email or whatnot, if you go by the bank and they, talk to you about this Fed Now app, act like you don't know what's going on, but you know what's going on, man. They finna, real deal, set this thing in the earth, man. All right. And Fed Now is not the MOTB. It's just an intro to the CBDC that will lead to the MOTB. But Esau plans is going to fail, man. All right. Him doing all this, changing the money system and, trying to track everybody, put the C up into everybody. This is going to be his downfall. He don't even know it. But according to prophecy, his plans are going to fail, man. Okay. So I'm finish out with these precepts here, man. This is Psalm 64:5. It says, they encourage each other to do evil and plan how to set their traps in secret. And that's what they do inside their meetings, man. Okay? They're talking in secret how to set traps, man. They're encouraging themselves to do evil, all right? To make your life a living hell, man. To make you bend the knee to their will. That's Esau's goal. It says, who will ever notice, they ask, as they plot their crimes, right? Everything Esau is doing is a crime because it's not according to righteousness, okay? It says, they say, we have devised the perfect plan. And when you hear Mr. Klaus Schwab speaks and Yuval Harari, they speak about that Fourth Industrial Revolution, man, like it's, the kingdom of heaven. But it's not, okay? That Fourth Industrial Revolution is just a wet dream of the elites, man. And they have them so-called, look, let me go back to the UN. Yeah, here we go. Let me see here. The UN These goals right here, 17. Yeah, here we go. UN Sustainable Development Goals. 17 goals to transform our world. If you read through them goals, brothers and sisters, okay, you will see the plans of the elites, man. You'll see their plans. All right. Let me, you know what? Let me okay, what did I just do? I don't even know what I just did. I typed in and go. Let me see here. Okay, I'm kind of lost. Hold on, let me see. Oh, here we go. Search engine right here in my face. Yep. These goals right here, man. These 17 goals. Okay. This is Esau's wicked plan. 17 goals to transform our world. Okay, if you read through them, this nigga is crazy. Okay, but this is a part of something called our common agenda. All right, Esau's plans. But back in this, it says Psalms 64:6, we have devised a perfect plan. Yes, the human heart and mind are cunning. This is Psalms 21:11. It says, although they plot against you, their evil schemes will never succeed. Esau's not going to succeed, man. Though the scriptures, speaks about him about to fill his belly, he's not going to ultimately succeed, man. Now, granted, he's going to get people, to take that C-hip, but he's not going to get the control that he really wants, okay? It's not going to happen. It says, for they will turn and run when they see your arrows aimed at them, right? Most High going to judge this man. When he's about to fill his belly, as it said back in Job, Most High going to rain fire on him and destroy this devil, okay? It says, rise up, O Yahweh, in all your power. With music and singing, we celebrate your mighty acts. And I'll end here with this Job, man. Having put him in NLT as well. This is Job 18, starting in verse 5. That says, surely the light of the wicked will be snuffed out. The sparks of their fire will not glow. Esau's, his light, his wisdom that he have will be put out by the Lord, man. Okay. It says, the light in their tent will grow dark. The lamp hanging above them will be quenched. The confident stride of the wicked will be shortened. Their own schemes will be their downfall, right? Everything that he's plotting and planning to do is going to lead to his downfall, according to biblical prophecy. But in his mind, he don't see himself falling. He see himself, setting up himself for eternity pretty much. That's in his mind. They want to live forever, man, as you see them working on trying to live forever, man. It says, the wicked walk into a net, they fall into a pit, right? The Most High is setting this nigga up to fail, okay? He think this fourth industrial revolution, is a perfect plan, but really it's his downfall. It says, a trap grabs them by the heel, a snare holds them tight, a noose lies hidden on the ground, a rope is stretched across their path, right, man? Just like on the cartoon Road Warner, how the coyote, He trying to set the trap to catch a road runner, but he get caught up in his own traps every time, man. That's Esau. He's going to get caught up in his own traps, man. And it's going to be beautiful, okay? I read a few more verses here. It says, terrors surround the wicked and trouble them at every step. Terror's been prepared, man. This nigga finna get judged by the Most High, okay? It says, hunger depletes their strength and calamity waits for them to stumble, right? Same thing is, pretty much echoed in Isaiah 14 about hell from beneath is coming to meet him at his fall. Calamity awaits the so-called white man, okay? It says disease eat their skin, death devours their limbs. It says they are torn from the security of their homes and are brought down to the king of terrors. And the Most High is the king of terrors, man. He's about to put real hell on Esau, Edom, and his kingdom. It says the homes of the wicked will burn down, burning sulfur rains on their houses. That burning sulfur is going into the missiles, man. Okay? It says their roots will dry up and their branches will wither. All memory of their existence will fade from the earth. No one will remember their names, right? Esau's about to cease to exist, man. Obadiah 1:18. All memory of a so-called white person is about to be gone in the near future, man. All praise to Yahweh Shema Shai. He got to go. He has done enough and showed everybody that he needs to go. Okay? It says they will be thrust from light into darkness, driven from the world. They will have neither children nor grandchildren, nor any survivor in the place where they live. That's the same thing that's in Obadiah 1:18, man. In a nutshell. It won't be any survivors in remaining amongst Esau. And rightfully so, okay? He's a damn problem. It says people in the West are appalled at their faith. People in the East are horrified. They will say, this was the home of a wicked person, the place of one who rejected the Most High. And indeed, Esau rejected the Most High, man. But guess what? The Most High already rejected him anyway. He's a damn reject. So, hey, man, I just want to get into the information. I pray it was edifying to you, brothers and sisters. I didn't want to make this too much longer, but hey, shalom, man, shalom. Yeah, man, but I pray it was edifying. I close out by giving our praise and glory to Yahweh Shema Shai, B'Shem Chakodash, divine to the apostle and elders of the great millstone. Peace and blessing to the elect. Shalom.